Beruchim Abayim to the Taame Hamikra course. I am your host, Israel Maya. Israel Maya, in case you didn't see it on the video. Thank you for joining me. It's really nice to be working with you. You're going to have fun in this course. I enjoy teaching the Taame Hamikra. I'm going to teach you my method. It's a very unique method that I came up with many, many years ago. But before we even get into any of that, I just want to let you know that this is not a fancy graphics course. Probably this is the fanciest that you're going to get. And the two words that went up on the screen, Taame Hamikra. We're going to learn with pictures, obviously. And again, I'll tell you what my unique method is in just a few moments. But it's not fancy in any way. There's no, moving graphics, pictures, etc. But you will see some pictures on the screen, which are the words, and they're the most important. This is more of an audio course than something visually pleasant or pleasing. You'll also hear birds in the background, simply because I'm filming this outside, and it's the nicest place that I can sit and concentrate and enjoy making this for you. So, years and years ago, around the 80s, I went to Eretz Israel and I learned with a Chazan named Yigal Ben Chaim. If you look him up, Yigal Ben Chaim is an amazing Chazan from that time. Now he's in his, I guess, close to 90 years old. I don't know how much he does today. I don't know if he's still around. Last I heard, he was probably about 2 years ago. And he was very, very well known in Israel. I learned a lot of my chazanut from him, and I also learned how to read the Torah and chazanut from my good friend Rabbi Yitzhak Alaluf, who now resides in Turkey. So I want to give both of them credit for having taught me what I know and having the opportunity to pass along this knowledge. I want to congratulate you for taking this challenge of learning the Ta'amim. It is a challenge. If you stick to it and you're diligent with it, you can definitely do it. I have a method that I've used to teach people in the past who had great success. And if you meet certain criteria, I know that you're going to have the same level of success. Before we embark on this journey of learning to read the Ta'amim, I want us to talk about certain pretty important rules and pointers that I believe that you'll need to succeed. So, learning how to read the Torah is not super easy, but it's also not impossible. It takes discipline, it takes repetition, belief in yourself, it takes memorizing, the ability to hear and carry a tune, and the ability to reproduce it as well. You don't have to know music, but you have to be able to hear it and to reproduce it. In other words, if you can follow along what I'm doing and be able to do it, if not exactly, but close to exactly, then you're on your way. And then eventually you're going to make this with subtle changes in the future. You'll change the tonality, you'll change the way you read it, you'll make it unique, you'll make it your own. It doesn't happen overnight, it doesn't happen right away, it happens organically and as time progresses, and sometimes you don't even notice that it happens. Because it's natural. It's natural to learn something and then find a different way to do it. Your brain will find its own proper way to do it. So let's say you don't have the musical ability to reproduce it. Well, I suggest that you try the best that you can, because not everybody has that ability to be able to hear and to reproduce sounds. But I encourage you to, again, do the best that you can. Maybe if you want to get some musical training, if you're serious about it, if you wanted to go into either chazanut, or you want to just be able to read Torah professionally for a synagogue, or somebody has asked you and you feel that you have that ability, then I suggest that you get some type of vocal training if you're not able to reproduce the sounds. But even if you are, vocal training I think is important, to be able to bring your voice out and be able to last throughout the entire parasha, especially if it's 2 parashiot. It's very satisfying, actually, to be able to read the Torah with Ta'amim. And it gives you great confidence in the way that you read. And even if you don't read the Torah as a chazan, or you just want to read it on Shabbat, either before Mincha or before Shabbat starts, it gives you this great confidence to be able to read it with the Ta'amim. And by the way, in case you haven't figured out, I am Sephardic. And the style that I use in order to record or in order to do the Ta'amim is Yerushalmi. Now, I know many of them. I've actually learned Syrian, Moroccan, Turkish, Ashkenaz, Yerushalmi, as I mentioned that I know. I think they're all wonderful, but the style that I use here is Yerushalmi style. It's much more accepted. I think it's universal, and most people like it. I mean, you're going to run across people that don't like it, but there's nothing you can do. But most synagogues and most people enjoy listening to the Yerushalmi style if it's done correctly. Okay, how are we going to learn the Ta'amim? I think it's difficult to just jump into the Torah itself, but I came up with an idea many, many years ago to teach the Torah with the Kriyat Shema. We all know the Kriyat Shema, or most of us do. Hopefully you do, and if you don't know, you'll learn it. And the Shema really is an integral part of our lives. You say it when you wake up, when you go to sleep, during the day. So the Torah prescribes for us to be able to read the Shema, and because we've become so fluent at reading it, I think it's going to be easier for you to learn the Ta'amim if we're learning it together in the Shema. You'll learn how the names the Ta'amim are and how to properly accentuate. That's something that I'm very big at, and very big on accentuating properly the Shema and also the reading of the Torah, because if you don't accentuate properly and if you don't enunciate properly especially, then it's not going to be a great reading, and it's just going to be like reading a newspaper, which I often say to some people. Sometimes people read the Torah like they're reading a newspaper. They don't want the kahal to be tired out of the reading, and of course you don't want to stretch it out so much that you exhaust them, but you also don't want to read it so fast that it doesn't have any meaning. I mean, we're talking about reading the Torah, right? So we want to be able to say things properly. So that's a quick overview of how we're going to learn the Ta'amim, the Taame Hamikra. They're interchangeable. The Ta'amim and Taame Hamikra are interchangeable. We're going to learn it again with the Shema. You're going to be able to do it. It's going to give you confidence. But I want you to know that you have to be somewhat confident before you start, because you have to believe that you can do this. In your journey of learning the Shema, as you learn the Ta'amim, the cantillation marks, will you forget from one day to the next? Yes, you definitely will. Will you forget, a few days afterwards? Yes, you definitely will. It's through the repetition. Repetition is the most important thing when it comes to learning either a language or anything musical. If you don't have a fabulous memory for music, or a fabulous memory in general, like a photographic memory, it's the most important thing is repetition. So if you do a little bit every day, it's going to be better than 1 hour a week. So a little bit every day is going to be better than 1 hour a week. And that's pretty much it. I am going to end this video now. I don't want to make them super long, but in the next video, I want to learn, or I want to teach you the importance of paying attention to all of the Ta'amim and how they act as accent marks, and some rules for the Sheva, because the Sheva and the Kamatz obviously come up a lot when we learn the Shema or the Torah itself, and they have to be read properly.